Okay, we have a multitude of examples. However, if your graphic visual got selected, now I didn't get around to all the tables and there was a lot of great graphics, so we're not saying that anyone is good than the other. We just looked quickly and some people are like, oh, that's unique and that's unique. So everybody gets a star, first of all, so clap everybody. Okay. So a few that we selected just to showcase, maybe because they are unique. So first up, should we have them come up? Yes, we want one person from their table. So we need someone ready to go. So yes, if someone's ready to go, we'll do this one after. Okay, here we go. If anybody knows me, I'm a taskmaster, right? So it's like, we are going. Okay, so can you say your name, where you're from, and then share your visual of your team?
Yeah. So I'm Ryan Keating. I'm from the Alexander School District, sort of in between Rochester and Buffalo. And our graphic just represents that standards are sort of the bedrock and the floor upon which everything else rests, but that we have a double-sided staircase to represent that you can sort of go up and down and consistently revise all the other stuff, but ultimately it's instruction that has the most direct impact on students.
Awesome. Thank you. And I did see a lot of staircases and decorate like cakes, like that build on layers, you know what I mean? I saw a lot of that around at the different tables, so that was good. Okay, so next up, who is explaining it? Brianne?
Hi, I'm Brianne Toga. I'm from Casanova Middle School out by Syracuse. Our picture that we came up with is a tree, and the different parts of the tree kind of build to each other. So the ground and the roots are the standards that everything kind of comes out of, and then the trunk of the tree is our curriculum instruction, always growing, always getting bigger and better. And then the top part of the tree, the leaves and all the foliage up top is the students and their learning that they have to go through. And then the fruit is the assessment. Sometimes it falls off the tree, sometimes it rots at the bottom. But it has different purposes and different outcomes.
And sometimes it's just a nice juicy apple, right? So there we go. Awesome. And I did see several trees with roots and that was good. So, okay, next up.
I'm Adam Fries from Johnson City School District, and our group wanted to put a student at the center of it all, so we made a very artful stick figure. They are standing, the standards kind of lift them up on their stage. We thought instruction should go around the whole kid because we want to instruct the content and the practices. And then there's a constant cycle of curriculum and assessment going on. And of course, math is at the heart of it all. On the wrong side of it.
We have one more, Rose. I saw some other foldables too, which were awesome, but I just didn't see the finished product and didn't get back to them, so. It's okay. We get it.
Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Rose from New York City, and our table is sending a priority letter to all of you in the State Department of Education, where inside our envelope is a card. They are obviously our students, and of course the letter is saying that standards drive curriculum and instruction, and the final thing is assessment.
Right. I know that she is. Very good. So thank you to everyone who shared those pieces. I'm going to go back to our slides. So hopefully it's a nice little activity you can do, right? And just to really wrap people's heads around. I saw a lot of Venn diagrams. You see a lot of Venn diagrams when you do this activity with different people. So I'm not, I just say to myself, sometimes the Venn diagrams are, but I'm like, do they really stand on their own? I guess they do in some ways, but then they all mix together. But then when you get four, it gets interesting. So anyway, but we did see a lot of those. But thank you all for some of those in there. Okay, so next up, we're going to just talk a little bit about, like Sue sort of outlined what's in the introduction and the various sections that are in our introduction. So in the standards document, we always say it's important to go back and really read the words and process it, because reading is great, but you really got to internalize it. So we're really encouraging people to go back to these sections of the document because, we're always reminded it's not just the content, right, that's important. It's the process of how you get to the content and to the assessments, correct? So it's a journey. It's not always easy. It's not always nice. And there's not one way to get there. That's the thing we try to reinforce all the time. And we always want to make sure that we're making it accessible to all learners, regardless of gifted, regardless if they have many different learning disabilities with challenges, but we want all students to be exposed to a high-quality mathematics program, regardless of where they are in their learning. So we need to provide as teachers and as trainers and as administrators, what supports are we going to put in place to help them be successful and address all their needs. And then also we want to make sure we're always constantly bridging and starting with some prior knowledge and go to new knowledge. When somebody is not on grade level, we don't say, oh, they're at the second grade level, so we go back to second grade, right? You still stay on grade level. It's just what are going to be those entry points for those students who are having some of those difficulties. So again, I just encourage you to go back and read these sections. Read them as a team, as a department, because I think they can be very powerful. Okay, next. I got the activities, and I'm like, that's not surprising if people know me. So, okay, so we are going to now do a round robin on your table. So on your table you have colored pieces of paper. They say tasks on them. Task 1, Task 2, Task 3, Task 4. What we did was we gave you 2 sets. So one of you at your table take Task 1, somebody take Task 2, 3, and 4. Now some have different configurations at your table. We thought you were going to be 8. We came in, there's 12. Some people only have 6 at it. So we're going to roll with this a little bit. So just take a different colored task card. One of those is white, just so you know. So we're going to do an activity, so just get your handouts first, and then I'm going to give you the directions. So everybody make sure you have your handouts. We're going to do a round robin, which is going to allow people at your table to do this. So here's what we're going to do. You are going to have 2 minutes. Is everybody listening? So first you're going to... Is everybody with me? Everybody hand out their papers. Okay, we are ready. So each one of you should have a task card. Even if you're sitting in the back, we gave you a task card. They are the 4 sections that I just showed you on the previous slide. We're going to have you read that section. We're going to have you maybe with a pen or something that you have for a device for writing. We're going to ask you to, what's something that struck you in on that section that you read? Because you're going to share that with other teams of 4 at your table. Now, if you have 8, that works out well. 4 is a team, 4 is a team. If not, you're going to modify, and I'll let you figure that out, because we are all mathematicians here, so we're capable of that. So what I want you to do is read it, okay? Then we're going to put you on the clock, I believe, and you're going to share out in your teams of 4, and we're going to give you a timer. So first we just want you to read it to yourself, talk a little bit, and then we're going to share out, correct? So I'm not going to start the timer yet. Give you time to read, do that piece, and then I'll come back, okay? So read, have some conversation, and then we'll engage in activity.